Microdose, yeah. Microdose, 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 dose. Microdose, microdose, dose. Microdose, microdose, dose.
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, coming to you. Newest edition of the Microdose. Hope you guys have been having a fantastic week. Got some Bay Area blues here. As you may or may not know, the 49ers lost the big game to those motherfuckers in LA, the Rams.
Oh,
And
Kush.
it's a whole thing. That's Kai, my man Kai of Kush and Kai.
Good to be
Kai,
here.
what's good, buddy?
About the Niners, I'm not actually super bummed about it because it was a turbulent season, a lot of injuries, but I really don't think we had any business getting that deep in the rounds. And
I'm a little passive myself on it. And it's funny that you mentioned that because they did a highlight reel of the entire season at one point in the second half of the game, and basically the short of the long of it is like the Niners got way further than anyone expected them to get.
And I saw some it's Schadenfreude, but some Cowboys fans just absolute recordings of them just absolutely melting down at the sight of that wacky end of that game. And it was worth the price of admission. It was like, wow, that is so special. And then we got some similar action with the Packers. And then we're in all those games. It was super close. We gave away this last one. And it was tough that we couldn't go 7-0 against Sean McVay. But, they hung in there. Yeah, so be it. But, championship round. Kush, that's something. Go Niners.
It was a huge game, just not only because obviously whoever won that game goes to the Super Bowl, but we were facing Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is the host of the Super Bowl this year. So I don't know if that's ever happened before, or at least not in a long time, right?
Not like that. I mean, Tampa Bay didn't they play in Tampa that year?
See, that's what I'm questioning. I don't know. That's like whoever hosted the Super Bowl was that city's official team in that Super Bowl. Like, obviously, during Tampa, 6 years ago, Santa Clara would have really liked us to go to the Super Bowl, but it didn't happen that year.
That would have been awesome, Kush.
I think we won 2 games that whole year, too.
Yeah, that was a tough one. And the Seahawks. Anyway, but the Niners are over, but the Dubs are definitely in full stroke. Clay is back, but there's an assortment of other injuries and ailments. But hopefully they'll keep on trucking. I just watched them beat Houston, so that was good.
Nice. I want to just jump back to the big game. Who do you think is going to win it? Is it going to be the Rams or is it going to be the Bengals?
I kind of think the Rams are going to do it, but Joe Burrow, he keeps taking a horrific number of just deadly sacks, and the man keeps getting up. He's a very old school quarterback. So I wouldn't count Burrow and Jamar Chase and gang and Mixon out. They look good, but I probably think the Rams would win it. If you played 10 times, they'd probably take away 6, 7.
Fascinating. I honestly, again, as everyone may or may not know, I don't follow football. I'm only obliged to watch the football game when we get this deep into the playoffs, and then the Super Bowl is just always fun because that's it. It's do or die. There's nothing else after that. This was the thing that was leading up to, and then the commercials are always fun as well. However, I'm just going to be petty and I'm going to root for the Bengals.
Okay.
It's a very interesting math. There you have it.
Good.
Kai, you been watching any TV?
Jinx,
you owe me a Coke.
There was a show that I was chatting you up about because, look, I'm not the hugest Steve Harvey fan, but I appreciate his lane. He knows exactly what he is. I think previously I had seen sort of the best version of him in his big reactions in Family Feud, being incredulous and pointing stuff out. But
many memes have been made out of it as well. Just on Family Feud alone.
He's that's fun. That's fine. but he just it's on ABC now, Kush. It is Judge Steve Harvey, and it's like fun court.
Yeah.
Where he comes out like just the opening, like it's a courtroom, right? But then there's two doors that open up right behind the bench, and it's this like silhouetted staircase with like the fog machine rolling out of it and lights. And he rolls down, everyone's cheering and stuff. And he just berates the ridiculous arguments that people present, and the laughs and the big toothy smiles. It's fun. This is the best version, like a Pokemon. Like he's reached a level here where it's like people love the court show, and then just this how it's he says at the top, like, I'm not a lawyer, not a judge, I don't know the law. I had to, he's dressed like Shaft while he's saying this in the intro. Amazing. And it's great. I gotta say, like the format of him making fun of people, but then getting heart to heart and having them come to Jesus and about what you should do. And he gives them a lot of choices. But he'll do things like have the court pay for somebody's punitive damages, or then he'll award both of them. Like, this is a friendship that's broken, and then he'll send them like to a vacation together. Like it's court with prizes where everyone can win. Like it's pretty neat. And the thing that also fascinates me about it is that like, our democracy could easily slide into popularity court, because that's what it turns into. Like everyone's booing the one lady, and then it doesn't work out well for her. And I was like, wow, I could see people electing for this kind of justice in real life, like that court in that with the Batman Rises movie, and they're just throwing people into the river.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, court by applause is like kind of fun, but then also like paints a scary, like, our society could just slide right into. I can see that. I can see that happen. So there's a level of fascination there for that. But fun for the whole family. I gotta say, the kid enjoys it too. There's a lot of different emotional beats and fun production work on that one. Did not think I would be recommending an ABC evening broadcast
fun as
on a
fun.
podcast. Yeah.
Believe it or not, the networks know what they're doing. It just doesn't always hit with you or me. So a couple things based off this. I understand that the judge shows do incredible. Like Judge Judy is actually the highest paid talent in syndication, and like syndication makes more money than network for some reason.
Yep.
Don't ask me why. I don't pretend to understand. This is just the details I've heard. I've also heard at whatever convention it is where network executives, it's like Comic-Con, but with TV shows that don't exist yet. They just walk up and down a road like, oh, you're a judge show? Okay, maybe we should hire you to be on our next TV network.
Right.
All right. Having said all that, I actually know someone who's not with us anymore, but he was sued and brought to like Judge Joe Mathis or Judge Joe Brown. And regardless of what happened in the show, he could have been found innocent and not had to pay anything. Or what did ultimately happen is he was found guilty, and the show paid the damages.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's I didn't. I don't. Maybe it was just that one circumstance, or maybe my man was just blowing smoke up my ass. Who knows? But that's what I understood. So
but I mean, that maneuver is like, wow, this usually doesn't go this way. It's like, so they're sort of like, well, I've decided you're on your own.
Yeah. I mean, they have someone researching all this, like, oh, you're only claiming like $4,000 in damages. All right, yeah, we can do that. That's in the budget. But like, something that's like $20,000 or like physical harm, physical injury,
right?
Like, you need to go to real court for that, player.
The physical one, so far it's only been I think in the same range as people. It's like small claims adjacent. The amounts usually aren't that big.
Have you been watching any of the new Boba Fett show?
I saw the last 3/4 of that first episode.
Oh wow.
And I was like, we just watched a guy in Mando suit run around and do really cool things with lightsaber people and Baby Yodas. And it's like,
Mhm.
I don't know. Listen, I have personally, I'm working a lot more and sleeping a lot more, and so
Mm.
this drive hasn't hit me to jump on this. And I think I told you before, like 14-year-old me would be so effing mad at me now. It'd be like, there's a TV show with Boba Fett, and you did not watch it all at the jump. Like, what is wrong with you? Yeah. I feel like I've betrayed a piece of myself, but Kush, I
No.
gotta tell you, like, it was fine, but I'm like, I had no motivation to go back. Have you
Okay.
seen it, sir?
I've seen all the episodes, and
Should go back.
I've never understood the fascination with Boba Fett. Like, if we're only talking about Return of Jedi and the body of Return of the Jedi, like Boba Fett gets offed immediately, and we're not talking about expanded lore where he crawls out of the fucking Sarlacc pit. All right, like
But
that motherfucker's dead as far as we're concerned in that
he's there that
instance.
part.
And it's like, wow, for this badass, he got murked really easily. All right, whatever. And then I
Yeah.
moved on with my life, but for whatever reason, he became a cult favorite and has his expanded lore, and people know it by heart. But having said all that, like, I'm not married to any of that. So when they're doing this thing of like he's evolving as a character and he's showing a softer side by trying to rule with respect, all right, I can be a part of all that, like with fresh eyes. It's not working though for some reason, and you're just like, you're trying to do Lost, like, because this character was already in part of season 2 of The Mandalorian. Like, we already know he gets his armor back, so that storyline is cut off. And like, we obviously he got out of the Sarlacc pit, so you don't need to have done that either. But it was a cool scene. Like, I was like, oh my god, he's inside a stomach. Like,
the guy that Darth Vader had to tell not to use a disintegration ray, and now he's talking about respect. Like, come on.
yeah, I'm not gonna ruin any of it. I'm just gonna say, yeah, I had no expectations going in, but I am ultimately bored. There are 3 episodes left in the quote unquote season, and the very last episode that we had, last week's episode, because this will come out 2 days after the newest episode. Last week's episode, Kai, not spoiling anything for you, was a Mandalorian episode.
Oh, Amendo.
And it was a lot. So Twitter is going crazy, and we're like, how's a show about Boba Fett? That's awful. Have the best episode be about the Mandalorian. No, it wasn't a good episode either. All right. In fact, it's even more confusing that it was just, it's the most fillerish shit ever. I was like, why are what are we doing here?
That is a bummer. But I figured, yeah, he'd have to pop up at some point.
Sure. Or not.
I mean, does it even matter? Like, I don't know. This just feeds back to like, did we need this? Is this? It seems
ultimately we don't need any of it, but is it entertaining? Is the question, and in my opinion, this is not.
It is hilarious to go back and watch like Empire or Return of the Jedi, and the guy playing Boba Fett, Jeremy Bullock, just, a slight, English man. And then now we've got a Samoan under there. And it is markedly different.
I hear what you're saying.
We're retconning everything. Yeah.
Well, when that little English gentleman with the huge Ned Flanders mustache was under that mask, we weren't expected to see that man's face. We were never supposed to see that man's face, and obviously that changed with the prequel, because that shit was also stupid.
Yeah. Man, they keep giving them so much rope to hang themselves with. Like, well, wait a minute, what about this? I'm excited for like another set of movies where they're like, this time we'll finally explain where Yoda's from, and you're like, maybe just put it down. Are we gonna gain anything from that?
Yeah, Star Wars is as complicated as Star Wars would like to be, and as dense and lore and all. It's really just about wizards with laser swords, and you can't have that in every story. But it's Star Wars, so why wouldn't it be there? Like,
yeah,
it doesn't work.
That's what J.J. Abrams believed too, and he came in with his jazz storytelling of, we'll just figure it out when we get to set. And here we are.
I still remember, Kai, our experience at The Last Jedi. Like, I was literally just telling this story a couple months ago during a screening of Ghostbusters. Like, that scene where Princess Leia gets sucked out of the airlock, but then floats back. Like, I was in hysterics, dude. But you fell out of your seat and into my seat, which is interesting because we're at the Alamo Draft House. I was like, isn't there a table between us in this fantasy? No, you still somehow fell into my seat, pushing me out of my seat.
I think they knocked over that bucket of beers that we had. That was a lot. Oh boy, I miss movie theaters, Kush.
I miss some movie theaters.
Oh God, when was the last thing?
Are you up on any of the Peacemaker show on HBO Max?
I abstained from that one.
You have abstained from that. Interesting. May I question why?
I didn't see. He's a gentleman from Suicide Squad, right?
Yes, John Cena.
John Cena,
former professional wrestler.
Yes, I did not see any of the Suicide Squad movies.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So I was like, I'm not going to jump in for this, but how much have you seen?
I've seen every episode 3 times now, which is incredible because you know me, Kai. I don't like anti-hero bullshit. And the original Suicide Squad, Academy Award winning Suicide Squad, you have to say the whole thing. I haven't seen that. I had no desire to see it after watching The Suicide Squad because it was day and date release on HBO Max. And it was just like, ain't nothing else to do here. James Gunn never turns in a bad performance.
Good to hear.
I enjoyed it. And so there was already stuff in the trades about John Cena got his own HBO Max series out of this. I believe it's going to also be 8 episodes. We just crossed episode 5, so episode 6 is drops before this episode. It's super entertaining. James Gunn appears to be able to do no wrong. I'm daring someone to just give James Gunn just a piece of shit script, like do something with this, and I bet it would turn out pretty good. Like that's the amount of confidence I have in this dude right now, because I've been watching his stuff before Guardians of the Galaxy.
Would this make any sense if I haven't seen the Suicide Squad movies?
Yes, You'd be fine because he's not in the first Suicide Squad movie. He's a part of the Suicide Squad. Him and Idris Elba have a lot of fun back and forths. Again, fascinating movie that James Gunn created. Lots of music influence, lots of fun rock and roll scenes. James Gunn, again, that guy seems to be able to do no wrong right now. But the best thing I can say about it is, like, again, you know me, dude. I hate that anti-hero bullshit. And John Cena's always trying to be like, I'm a good guy. I will kill every man, woman, and child to obtain peace if I have to. And they're like, you're not a good guy, dude. You're a fucking monster. And I was like, okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. At the end of each episode, I am looking forward to the very next episode. That's the nicest thing I can say about it.
Okie doke. I was saving up my superhero points for when The Boys comes back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. The last movie that I saw at the Castro was the John Waters film called Pink Flamingos. Have you ever heard of that one?
I've seen it. Yeah.
It is an exercise in bad taste. But man, if you've never seen it, go look for some clips online. One of a kind John Waters type movie, starring the legendary drag queen Divine.
Is the chicken ladies in that one, right? Like, I've seen a couple John Waters, and they all mixed into just it's not for me. It's mixed into it's not for me, Kai.
Yeah, no, it's not even for me. It's just one of those, like, have you ever seen a trauma movie? like, you got to know
you know what, that John Waters shit is still crazier than trauma, and I like to think I've seen some crazy trauma shit, but like
I've seen some wild trauma shit. But yeah, John Waters is
I want to say it was Pink Flamingos. It could have been one of the other earlier ones as well. And it's a lesbian couple, and the more masculine of the couple got a sex change and transitioned into a man. And then his girlfriend freaked out because she's like, I don't like dick, I like you. I'm a lesbian. What the fuck is this all about? And so this guy was so ashamed and so overcome with just, I don't even know how to describe it, but then he cut off his penis that he just had surgically attached, and it's just like, just no, the layers of this onion are no. This is, I'm only 18 at this point, and this is not okay. No.
I think that was Desperate Living.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it. Like, I know I've seen a couple of them. I was just like, I think it's maybe next to Legend of the Overfiend, maybe the most shocked I've ever been with a movie.
Wow. No, I never saw that one, but yeah, I'm just going through the wiki. Yep, that's the one. Oh, it is the third installment.
And it was the whole thing, like she tossed the penis out the window, and then a dog came and ran off with it. I was just like,
oh boy. This is the third installment of what Waters had labeled the Trash Trilogy, which includes Pink Flamingos, Female Trouble, and of course this one, Desperate Living, circa 1977. Oh my god. Is John Waters still alive?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Alive and kicking. Yeah. I don't know how. I think he's just surviving. I think he's just making a living now and just doing tours about, like, I made this movie called Pink Flamingos. And then just has a monologue after that.
I would go see An Evening with John Waters. That's yeah. I would be interested.
John Waters is legitimately an interesting dude. I've listened to him on multiple podcasts and YouTube shows, and just fascinating story. But I do not like his movies. Like Serial Mom is good, but also no one has seen Serial Mom, so it's like, all right, whatever. Yeah,
I gotta say, I've enjoyed Kevin Smith's podcast career a lot more than now. It's hard for me to go back and watch some of the movies.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. His newer stuff is not good at all, unfortunately.
I didn't care for some of the later entries, but no, his epic podcast career. I was sad when Smodcast lost Scott Mosier. He was a funny gentleman. He didn't die. I think he just got bored of doing it.
All right. Okay. Yeah. What happened to Scott Mosier then?
He did
his own thing?
Yeah, well, he was writing some movies, but then I don't know, it sounded like he did a drop out of society thing. Like he moved to a beach town with his wife and has kind of a farm thing. I think he was just taking some time off with COVID and everything. Okay. But I don't know. He wasn't always jazzed about doing the podcast, even though generating some of the funniest early pod bits I've ever heard there. But
I know his name, but I can't put a face. I can't even put a voice to this name. I know Kevin Smith is still doing the Fat Man on Batman series. Mm-hmm.
He's obsessed with Batman.
But even that thing is, well, that's more of a pop culture show now. Like originally it was just like, I'm with one of the original writers of Batman the animated series, and we're gonna go through every episode, and then they did.
Oh wow.
and then it's just like, let's just talk about normal shit now. Did you see Ghostbusters? I saw Ghostbusters. Wasn't it fun? Yeah, I liked it. Okay, let's start. Smodcast was a lot of fun with guys. That's upsetting. I am forgetting the gentleman's name.
Jason Mewes?
Not Jason Mewes. No, not Jay.
There's been, he has a bunch of
shows, but it's a gentleman who's got a square jaw. Not Fred Levine. Anyways, they had it's an entertaining show, but it's very quick, and the formula is also very just unnecessary. It's like, all right, Kai. So we're gonna go into this bit. Here's a song for the bit. Okay, now we're in the bit. Here's the bit. That was the bit. Now we're on to the next bit. Here's the song for that bit. We're gonna do this bit. We just came out of that bit. It's very sporadic. It's very very layered, but it's also it works. People love it. The live shows were doing great. I can't hate on it. I'm always obsessed with what draws a crowd.
Yeah, for sure. Fine. Oh, did I get to tell you about the other broadcast ABC show that came out recently? It's called Abbott Elementary.
Oh, okay. What's that about?
Well, you weren't. I mean, everyone has different comfort levels around people using the Office mockumentary format.
Mm-hmm.
And this does, and it's about a group of teachers in different arcs in their careers at an underprivileged school in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And I mean, it's funny, but it has really no business, these first few episodes, being as good as it is, because those casts, I mean, for Parks and Rec and The Office, like, they had to get at least a season in to kind of like gel that ensemble. Like, it's hard. But I laughed out loud at some moments on this show. And Quinta Brunson, who is the creator, is also stars in it. Very clearly, grew up probably with parents that were in the education system. And I believe, one of the parents was like 30-year veteran of a school thing. Because, goofy, funny, pointing stuff out about the system, and then got a little heart to it too. But great watch with the kid. So I'm a lot of my media now just is co-opted by what can an 11-year-old also watch. Yeah, that and slasher flicks with her. She still likes horror movies. Oh, I just saw Manhunter for the first time. The Michael Mann one from '86.
Okay, the original Red Dragon.
Yeah, Brian Cox plays Hannibal Lecter. Fantastic Hannibal Lecter. I recommend that one.
That's weird that also just came up on some show I was listening to the other day. That's amazing.
I heard somebody interviewing Carol Baskin of Tiger.
Tiger
Corolla. Yeah, Corolla. And he asked if she had seen Manhunter, because there's a scene with a tiger in it. And he was confused because it's like, your whole life, your whole world is tigers, and no one's ever brought this up before.
Yeah.
And
that's an extension of a bit where he has about a movie about a Foley artist. And I forget the name of the title. I haven't seen it myself, but he was on whatever set one day and talking to a Foley guy. He's like, "Oh, did you see such and so movie?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know what you're fucking talking about." I was like, "Really? You didn't see the only movie about your profession?"
About a Foley guy. Yeah.
What did you ever watch The Tiger King?
I watched like one episode, and I'm like, I kind of get it. Like, I don't know. I wasn't into I wasn't swept up, but the wife was way into it, so I got a real good play-by-play of what was going down.
Oh, then you know all about it.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't need to see just more like insane people trying to steal tiger. That's great. That's fantastic.
Well, no one was stealing any tigers, man. But so everybody in it is a monster, including Carol Baskin. But like, her and the other dude are like not as bad as the one guy like no one is talking about. Like the guy who actually went to jail for murdering people is like, yeah, I did that shit, and I served my time. And now I like hanging out with tigers and getting laid. Like, fuck it,
murdering people. Too much.
I murdered a bunch of people. I served my time. I did my thing. A lot of people have definitely misconceptions about it. It's not about like, hey, look how funny it is. This guy's abusing tigers. It's not about that. It's about like just this weird feud that shouldn't have existed. And it's just like, this is how crazy this dude got, where he started a podcast, and every episode like, fuck that bitch so-and-so. And it's like,
oh boy. Yeah, that
the levels of petty went crazy here.
Yeah, it's just like it's just so much craziness. Like I didn't need it in my life.
But it kept topping itself. You were like, what? And then what? And then ultimately it gets unfun after episode 5. And then you're just like, all right.
That is rough. Were they making a biopic with was it Rob Lowe? Let's see here. Yeah, Rob Lowe was in talks for a Netflix project to play Joe Exotic.
Oh, you're talking about an actual movie. Nick Cage was in the talks. Was
That's
going
what
to
I
be
heard
Joe Exotic,
too.
and that fell
Yeah.
out. That fell out.
Yeah. Shocking. Nick Cage
I thought you were talking
project.
about something else. My
Oh,
bad.
no. I was wondering, that could have come and gone, and I just missed it.
I think the Tiger King train has come to a full stop. Yeah, again, that shit is crazy, but no one wants. Yeah, we're done. At least for now. Maybe in 10 years. Have you experienced any of HBO Max? And it used to be Cinemax only, but now it's HBO Max's Warrior.
I have not. How is this, sir?
So it started in 2019 on Cinemax, and then it got its second season, and then COVID hit, and HBO Max became a thing, so it all got transferred over. It tried to talk a lot of that hype that I also don't like. Like it's just very fascinating to be working with a crew of diverse people and see so many Asian faces on set. Let's just take all that out of the equation just for a second here.
So yeah, just focus on the work here.
Let's just talk about the work. Let's not talk about this is based on the works of Bruce Lee. All right, he wrote a script for Kung Fu that became Kung Fu, and then they didn't hire him, and they thought David Carradine would be better, and we'll never know. But so this is what Kung Fu could have been, and it's about this dude whose sister. I honestly forget if his sister was kidnapped or sold, but she ends up getting married to a Chinese gangster who has immigrated to San Francisco.
Yes.
And he has saved up every penny he can, and he gets on the first boat that he can, and he makes his way to San Francisco. And as soon as he makes immigration, he gets into a fight, and he beats up the immigration guards, and some gangsters get a hold of him, and they're like, hey man, you could do some slave labor for 5 cents a day, or you could work with us for $10 a day. You want to make some motherfucking money? Let's go.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, I'll do some gangster shit. That's probably better than working in the mines or whatever was happening in San Francisco at that time.
A lot of rough shit. A lot of rough shit. So what do you think of it?
I appreciate the second season a lot more. Again, getting past my initial biases going into it, because there's a lot going into it, but story-wise, it's a lot of fun. I'm not even past the first episode here, Kai, and I'm not gonna do a whole episode for episode overlay, but I just want you to know, he finds his sister immediately. He's like, sister, I have come to rescue you from your life of enslavement to this gangster, and I'm gonna fucking kill everybody I have to. And she goes, Bruce Lee is Avatar. I love this gangster shit. I'm all about it. So I can't get enough of it. I'm sleeping with the head dude. I'm influencing him on shit you don't even know about. And his whole plan just kind of falls to shit.
Okay, Kush. All right. I got it. Don't look. I got it cracked open on Rotten Tomatoes. For season 1, what do you think it got on the Rotten Tomatoes for the top critics? Just season 1.
The top critics probably gave it, I'm going to guess 82.
All right. Good guess. It is 79%. Okay. Now, fewer ratings, but season 2, what would you guess?
So here's why I also guess there are fewer ratings for season 2. I was really turned off by that first season. It's a quick burn, but I was just like, there's a lot of bullshit in this. Just with the production alone, the story I'm not feeling yet, but season 2 probably went back and corrected all that bullshit, because I was just into it. I was like, I like this character, or I like this new character that we probably shouldn't like. I like our main character who Bruce Lee would probably hate, but hey, he does a good Bruce Lee impression. Season 2, I'm gonna guess still in the 80s, but I'm gonna go 86%.
Okay. It is only with 5 critic ratings that it got here, but it is at 100%.
How many critics rated it the first season?
24.
24. That's still not a lot, but that's a huge deficit by a lot.
It is. Audience score for season 1 was 95. Audience score, and that was 200. Audience score for season 2 was 93 with 106 users. So pretty
Also
good
a
numbers
deficit
there.
there. Also a deficit there. Interesting. Season 2 is definitely much better than season 1. I do appreciate the whole thing. It's like, I just love this gangster shit.
That is funny.
There's so I again, I have a lot of problems with the whole, like, it's so great to be a part of this diverse cast. Lady, you're in the wrong place. All right. Like, I'll let you in on a little secret. China's got a huge fucking multimedia conglomerate. Like, it's wildly successful. You just don't speak Chinese. That's it. That's your big problem.
There you
go. It tries to be Kung Fu Game of Thrones, and I do appreciate that. So again, you got the Chinese, and they're all immigrants, and then you got the white people that are lower class, but guess what? They're also all immigrants too, but they got their story. Then you got the upper class white people, but they're all second, third generation. They're all wealthy. It's a thing. Then you got the police, and you hear about, like, oh yeah, there's only like 2 dudes every 8 hours patrolling Chinatown right now because no one gave a shit. I bet
they were super helpful too to the Chinese.
Well, they kind of try, but they also take advantage, as cops will do in this story. I left out a demographic here. Oh, there's a couple of black people in there. They pop in and out over there.
Okay.
That's a little footnote.
There we go.
In the city of San Francisco in the 1800s, the 19th century. I'm not the biggest historian. Where are the fucking Mexicans? The Mexicans nowhere to be represented in this.
Oh, not one?
We get one in season 2. She's a fight promoter. She's very pretty. I like her. She's a lot of fun. She actually takes our protagonist down to Mexico, or down to the border of Mexico, and like, hey, we're gonna put you in a big tournament here. That's a whole other episode. I'm not gonna broadcast spoilers. So in that singular episode, we see the most Mexicans we have seen in the whole series. But in the city of San Francisco, where it's like, we built this city on Asian labor. Like, I'm just like, where are the Mexicans?
Where'd they go? Where did they go?
You see multiple maps in the background of modern day San Francisco. Actually, there's like houses in the sunset, which you and I both know were just sand dunes at that point. Like, there's, no. If you didn't know any better, San Francisco in this TV series is about 8 blocks long.
Yeah. Wait, did you say late 1800? Yeah. There's a lot of landfill they didn't get to then. They're missing a bridge or 2.
Definitely missing a couple bridges. But still, yeah. Anyway, I super enjoyed season 2. There's apparently a season 3 coming, but I think COVID botched most of that. But
COVID's ruined so much.
That it has, my friend. That it has.
In Billions, they're still waiting to release like a few episodes from the last season that they didn't finish.
Are you serious?
When they took their hiatus, a bunch of weird things happened, but it's a spoilery thing. No, but it's in their promos though. That Damian Lewis was leaving the show, so they like hastily wrote him out. But it was so unsatisfying because after they resumed their break, one of the things that they did way too much of because of COVID, lockdown, whatever, was just, it was characters every scene would start with a phone ringing and then them picking it up and pacing around their own apartment. Like, it was all incredibly static. Like, it was all phone conversations. And yeah, they wrote him off in an awkward manner, and they're like, "Hey, here's a new billionaire. It's all the same." And you're like, "Oh." And Paul Giamatti it's supposed to be like not that much time has passed, but he lost a bunch of weight and shaved his beard and goatee off. So he looks drastically different. If you watch those episodes back to back, and you're like, whoa, you always get the bends looking at him like, whoa, that's too much. So yeah, I think COVID definitely COVID ruined that show. That's a bummer for me. Billions.
I haven't seen any of it, but there's a new season of Ozark. Are you on top of that?
Oh, we restarted. We're jumping back into season 2. Somebody said just start with 3. You'll be fine.
That seems like a huge deficit as well.
Right. But no, we're not against as an official statement, we're not against Ozark. That is not our official position.
Is there a reason to be against Ozark?
No, it's just one of those shows where it's like we got through that first season, started the second, and then I think like we moved or something. So it really knocked the steam off the pot there, because it's like, should we rewatch it? I don't remember, who is this guy again? Oh, that's the son. It was one of those, and then it just got us tied up. It turned into a jump ball at that point, and neither of us were stretching for poor Ozark, which seems like a fine show.
I'm going to recommend that everybody check out the Kush and Kai episode of Mio and oh my God, what's the full title, Kai?
Land of the Faraway.
Oh my
As
goodness.
if one could just grab onto your beard, Kush, and be transported there. Wonderful episode.
It is our most popular episode, so that's why I'm recommending it right now.
Fantastic. Yeah, we got to get down to the weeds with the folk classics of other countries. Many fun lessons to be learned that way.
Indeed. Otherwise, folks, check out the Waffle Box podcast. It's the best part of Wednesdays. Me and Mike Fish, we come to you every Wednesday and we talk about everything and nothing all at the same time. And that's what you got to look forward to. Otherwise, for my man, kind of guy, I've been Kush. You've been you.
I've been Kai.
You've been Kai. You're still Kai.
Microdose, 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 yeah, microdose.
From the BosNet family.
And I was like,